Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Ma'am Giselle. My name is Tutor Cedric Provido, and my topic is all about integumentary system. Integumentary system is composed of our hair, glands, skin, and nails. It is also called the largest organ in our body. Major functions of integumentary system is for protection, sensation, vitamin D production, temperature regulation, and excretion. There are four methods of heat loss. These are radiation, convection, conduction, and evaporation. Evaporation occurs when the sweat vaporizes in the skin surface. Conduction is where the heat is transferred from the body to a colder surface by direct contact. Convection is the transfer of heat from the body to a moving liquid or air, while radiation is the transfer of heat via electromagnetic waves. Now, let's talk about our skin. Our skin is composed of two layers of tissues, epidermis and dermis. Our skin is used to determine body fats, and our skin is called the thin skin because thick skins are found only in the palm of our hands and the soles of our feet. Now, let's talk about epidermis. What is epidermis? Well, there are five epidermal strata. These are stratum corneum, stratum lucidum, stratum granulosum, stratum spinosum, and stratum basale. We're not going to talk about each of them, but just to let you know, stratum corneum is the most upper layer, while stratum basale is the most deepest layer. Now, common conditions in the stratum corneum. These are the dandruff, which is usually seen in our hair, callus, and corns. Now, let's talk about dermis. Keratinization first. Keratinization is the biological process where the epidermal cells accumulates keratin, a tough protein where it transfers from the lower layer to the surface. Now let's talk about dermis. Dermis is composed of dense columnous connective tissues. Our what we usually see in our dermis are stretch marks and tension lines. Stretch marks occurs when our body becomes too big, too fast, and the skin is too slow to adapt. That's why we get stretches in our skins, causing stretch marks. And for tension lines, it is used by doctors for a guide because they're going to cut the tension lines to reduce scarring when the cut is stitched up. Now, we're going to talk about factors affecting our skin color. These are melanins in our body, pigments in our body, like melanin and keratin, blood flowing into our skin, the thickness of our stratum corneum, and genetics. For example, if both of your parents are black, there's a high chance you become lab too. Now, going to talk about melanocytes. Melanocytes are responsible for producing melanin, while melanosomes are melanin-containing vessels which moves to the cell process of melanocytes. While melanin is the group of pigments which are responsible for the colors of our hair, skin, and eyes. Now the determinants of the skin color occurs, like the genetic factors, blood circulating in our body, and hormones. Now, there are areas in our body that gets more melanin than the rest. Examples of these are freckles, moles, areolas, and darkened areas of our genitalia. Now, example of the areas with less melanin are the lips, the palms, and the soles of our feet. Now, let's talk about hypodermis. It's a layer of tissue that connects the skin to the underlying muscles and bones. Now, we're going to talk about the colors in our skin, like the redness or blushing, pallor or paleness, cyanosis, where our body has less oxygen than normal, which is 95% to 100%, causing our skin to become bluish. Next one is jaundice, is where our body starts to become yellowish and white areas in our eyes become yellowish as well. Now, next one is bronzing, and the last one is bruising, meaning broken blood vessels, turning that part of the skin to become bruised. Now let's talk about the accessories skin structure, which is the hair, glands, and nails. First one is the hair. It is composed of hair bulbs, hair follicles, hair strands, hair shaft, and etc. Facts about the hair is that testosterone and good nutrition can affect our hair. And gray hair occurs because of loss or reducing of melanin. And last one is male baldness, pattern baldness happens because of the loss of hair follicles. Now, the next one is our glands. Our glands has two parts, sebaceous glands and sweat glands. And sweat glands has two types. That is eccrine sweat glands, which is responsible for us to sweat, that salty sweat in our body, and apocrine sweat glands, which is responsible for giving us body odor. Now, next one is the nails. It is composed of nail roots, cuticle, nail beds, and etc. Now, for integumentary system in diagnostic aid, these are the sandpaper texture in our skin, and the spoon-shaped nails in our nails. First one is the sandpaper texture in our body. It is caused because our body is low in vitamin A while high in keratin, causing a roughness texture in our skin like sandpaper. While the spoon-shaped nail occurs when we are low in iron, making our nails to appear concave or flat. Now, let's talk about the classifications of burns. These are the first degree burns, second degree burns, third degree burns. First one is the first degree burns, occurs only in the epidermis. It is usually followed by redness, slight swelling, and pain. It is usually caused by sunburns and slight exposure to hot and cold objects. Next one is the second-degree burns. It is usually it affects both epidermis and the dermis. It is usually followed by swelling, redness, pain, and blisters. Now, the third one is third-degree burns. It affects both dermis and epidermis. It is usually painless because the nerve receptors in our body is already destroyed. Now, for these cases, there are treatments like the split skin graft and the debridement. Now, let's talk about skin diseases like ringworms, um, measles, skin pox, chickenpox, shingles, German measles, acne, herpes, fever blisters, and so on. Let's include the skin cancers like basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and so on. Now, lastly, let's talk about the effects of aging in our skin. The blood flow in our body is reduced and the elasticity is lost. That is why older people are more saggy than younger people because the blood flow in their body is reduced and the elasticity is lost. And that is all. Thank you, ma'am. That is all for my video presentation.